This is hockey, the way it should be. Welcome to the Rockin' Hockey Show.
Come on, come on, come on. Raise your stick. Woo. Yeah. All right, pump your fist. Woo. Yeah. All right.
Quite a game. Down 2-0 in a championship game. The Young Stars put the team on their shoulders and made it 2-1 with their first goal. And it was a beauty.
I wipe the sweat from my brow. My God, it's happening now. If I could just figure out, I got it. I know it takes some time.
It's the Rockin' Hockey Show!
Welcome to the Rockin' Hockey Show. Now a guy who's jealous of my new look, Coach Dave Maximium.
Scored by number 25, Buzz Schneider. Once again, it's the Pavel.
Hey, what's up, hockey and rock and roll fans from around the globe? Welcome to show number 6 of the Rockin' Hockey Show. I am your host, Dave Maximium. For all our new viewers and subscribers out there, this is a show about hockey, but more importantly, youth hockey with a twist. On this show, we got NHLers, hockey specialists, celebrities, yep, and even nobodies. Talking hockey. We got great interviews, skill development, and yes, even pointless, nonsensical hockey entertainment.
What are you doing here?
Our last show saw defenseman Dave Ferentz from Boston University. And wow, this next show is a doozy. Back in February was the 48th anniversary of Miracle on Ice, the greatest sporting event in the 20th century. Right here on the Rockin' Hockey Show, we have from that gold medal winning team, Buzz Schneider.
For the U.S. Pavlis up ahead to Schneider. Shot goes in! Buzz Schneider!
Had a great interview with Buzz about that 1980 gold medal winning run and a lot of insight about the chemistry and hard work that went into that.
Great pass. Pavlis, number 16, tries to back in there. Puts it in. Buzz Schneider, number 25. He is the only man on this team who played on the 76 Olympic team. That's how young this team is. They average 22 years old. Schneider, one of the old men at 25, and it's 3-2 U.S. Scored by number 25, Buzz Schneider. Once again.
And as always, we got a great on-ice skill development session. The more you're standing still, the more the play comes at you and takes away your time and space. Let's say hi to the band. All right, I'm about ready to do this, so remember, this is a show where the hockey rocks. And the music sucks. All right, let's quit wasting time. Let's get rocking.
It's the Rockin' Hockey Show!
Hey, welcome to the Rockin' Hockey Show. I'm Dave Maximium. I'm here with RJ, my trusty sidekick, and we have a great show today for you. And what a fantastic guest we have today. As a matter of fact, in honor of him, I'm going to switch hats here. We're switching hats in honor of having Buzz Schneider from the 1980 Olympic team on the show. Buzz, how are you?
I'm doing great. You guys are looking good too.
Hey, thanks so much for calling in and talking some hockey with us. A little bit about your playing career. You were drafted by the Penguins in, I think, 74. You played for University of Minnesota. You played on the 76 Olympic team. 4 years of pro, and then, of course, on the 80 Olympic team. I mean, wow, what a great career. What comes to mind when you look back at your hockey career?
When I look back, being older now, I don't miss the game that much. I just enjoy the guys that I played with and the friendships that I made along the way. No matter if we had winning teams or not, it was the camaraderie with the guys and stuff. I think that's just great. And I remember that the most. I still stay in touch with all the guys I played with since I started growing up until I finished, and I still do. So to me, that's the highlight. I enjoy that the most.
Excellent. Now you have two sons. Did they both play hockey?
They both played hockey. In fact, when they were growing up, that's how I first got involved with a little bit with USA Hockey. I followed their I ended up coaching the young kids here in the Twin Cities, and I coached all the way through until my kids were peewees, and then with my job and stuff, that I had to step back and stuff. But it was a lot of fun. I certainly enjoyed it. one of my oldest sons, in fact, he played me in that movie Miracle. And
Right.
the only thing bad about it is he made more money than I did in a dog. Your son played junior A hockey, and he's back in school now. So things are going well with them.
Are they still playing hockey?
They still skate once in a while. In fact, my oldest son's wife, she played hockey at Princeton. She was a goalie, and now she's U.S. national bandy goalie. It's like field hockey,
Right,
the
yeah.
size of a soccer field on ice. So they're involved in that. My other son, he skates once in a while in the senior league. Just go having fun.
That's great, and I always tell everybody that if your kids are still playing hockey when they're adults, that means you did a good job raising them and teaching them the sport, because now they still play it, and they obviously love it and still respect the game. So that's awesome. Now, did you ever, when you were growing up, did you ever think that hockey would play such a big role in your life?
Not really. When hockey was on, I loved hockey. That's all I wanted to do. And you have dreams, a vision, going on to play. But when hockey was over, then it came baseball. So you had the same impression about baseball. And then when that was done, the fall, you played football. I mean, everybody played multiple sports back then. And the most important sport was the one that was in the season at the time.
Now, you played for the University of Minnesota, and you played for Herb Brooks there, and then you played 4 years of pro. Actually, you played for 76 team, 4 years of pro. And probably a little known fact, Arch, is that you played pro hockey before the 80 Olympics, and you came in as one of the veterans on the team. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was the oldest guy at 25. Mike Eruzione, a little bit younger. Yeah, I played at University of Minnesota and played on the 76 Olympic team. And how I ended up playing on the 76 Olympic team, I was drafted by Pittsburgh, and there were some contract things, and I wasn't able to get traded, so I ended up playing on 76. And I did play a little bit of minor hockey. And Mike and I, how we ended up playing, we played in the International League, and at that time it wasn't recognized by the NHL. So
There you have it.
that's how we got to keep our amateur status.
Can you compare the two Olympic as far as hockey goes, coaching, and the whole 9 yards?
It's the 76 team. We had a pretty good team. We didn't have the depth like we had in 80. Bob Johnson, who coached at Madison with the Pittsburgh Penguins, was a great coach as well. But he was great on the power play, coached more on the positive things. And Herbie was a little bit more the opposite. But Herbie kind of changed the game a little bit too, because instead of the traditional North American style where the wingers go up and down the boards, Herbie started interchanging positions. And to play for Herbie, you got to check your ego at the door, and you work hard. And he treated everybody the same. And practices were tough. We did off-ice training more so than I'd probably ever done before. And the guys, we did off-ice training and we did on-ice training.
Well, actually, that's a great segue into my next question is can you talk about, and you just covered some of it, but just some of the, the discipline that you had to have, the adversity you overcame, and just the emotions you guys went through as players, going through that whole process of the, the whole season you played leading up to the 80 Olympics, especially the emotional part. And I want to relate that to, the kids, youth hockey players after, kind of you talk a little bit about what you guys went through.
Well, they had the trials, I believe, in August, and Herbie, Craig Packard, they kind of knew who they wanted on the team and stuff, but they had to make it fair. Everybody, they had 70 guys tried out in Colorado Springs, and they brought it down to 26, and they brought 6 extra guys in case somebody got hurt or wasn't playing well. But we had a real off-ice training program. Jack Blatherwick, he experimented on it. We did a lot of off-ice stuff with him, and Herbie didn't want to miss anything. And when we got on the ice, Herbie changed our system, how we played, or most of the guys that played on the team. We were interchanging positions and not dumping and chasing, don't giving the puck up. So actually, when we started interchanging, we did it on the soccer field with the ball so we can understand how things, then we transferred it back out onto the ice. But we had a lot of good players. I mean, there was, of the 26, all of them could have played, but there just happened to be a number, you had to cut it down to 20. But like I said, we were never outworked, and we worked hard. I mean, we had a rough schedule. We started playing some NHL teams, like the Minnesota North Stars, the Washington Capitals. We played a rigorous International League schedule, plus we went to Europe, too, as well. and trained over there. And then we came back, and at Christmas time, we had a Christmas tournament playing against the Russian B teams, the Swedes, the Czechs, and it was a tough grind, but it was only 6-month grind, but nothing. Every stone was unturned, I'll tell you. I mean, but he also prepped us as well. And going into the Olympics in '80, we were actually seeded 6th, I believe. And but we knew we could skate with them, and we ended up playing like the Swedes right out of the chute. I mean, we thought going into it, we thought the Russians would win it, the Czechs and the Swedes would be 2 and 3, and maybe we had a shot at third. So we were actually looking for third place. But we caught the Swedes on the first game. Actually, the game was before the opening ceremonies in Lake Placid, and we ended up tying them with a couple seconds left. And geez, we're not doing too bad. We're doing okay. And then we had a night off. Then the second night we ended up playing the Czechs, and we ended up beating them pretty good. And we thought they were the second best team in the world, 7-2. And we knew we had a shot at the middle. At least maybe silver, maybe we were thinking. But Herbie always had us prepared, and he always had us shooting at the Russians because we had to go through the Russians for the gold medal. And he was telling us that they're not ready, they're not sharp, they're lethargic, they're not changing like they used to and stuff. So he always had that carrot out in front of all of us. But I'll tell you, after we ended up beating them, the Russians, the next day we came to practice, and there was sticks laying on the athletic table for us guys to sign it. He came in and knocked them all up. He said, "You guys haven't a damn thing yet. Get rid of those sticks and stuff." And he made sure our heads didn't get too big.
Sure.
But he knew what he was doing, and he was right though too, because we had a lot of young guys on the team. You look guys like Neil Broughton and Mike Ramsey, had great NHL careers. They're only 19 years old, and so he kept us pretty much in check, and it was grueling, but it was funny. Even the Russian game, with 9 minutes or 10 minutes left in the game, we were up by 1 goal, and our shifts got a heck of a lot shorter. Nobody wanted to be on the ice in case they scored, I think. Instead of 40 seconds, it was 30 or maybe 20.
Right.
But we didn't panic, and we were in pretty good shape, and we ended up, fortunately winning, but then ended up playing the Finns for the gold medal game. And what I don't think a lot of people realize, if we went to beat the Finns, we probably wouldn't have won a medal at all, the way this tournament was set up. And we did work hard. And we're getting back to Herbie keeping our heads in check. We were in an exhibition game in Norway, and we ended up tying the team. And that's, as if you saw in the movie, we ended up skating for hours into the evening. But thank God I got thrown out of the game, so I didn't have to skate.
Oh, that's awesome.
They left that part out in the movie.
That's so awesome.
What happened, how I ended up getting kicked out, what happened is Les Auger was the oldest guy. He didn't end up making an Olympic team. European referees, they do a lot of interference over there, like in basketball, how you block somebody or interfere. But we weren't kind of used to that, and Les Auger went turned his stick over to the referee like he was a blind man, and stuff. And Herbie said, "Buzz, go find out what happened." So I go on the ice, and the ref looked at me and says, "You're out of here too." I didn't realize at the time he was doing me a favor. But after the game, we ended up tying them, and we didn't play that bad, but we weren't as sharp as what Herbie wanted to do. And he said, "Everybody back out on the ice," and I'll tell you, they skated for 50 minutes, back and forth. And in fact, I felt so guilty. I was with Craig Patrick halfway through, and I said, "Craig, should I put my stuff back on? I feel bad for the guys out there skating." He said, "They'll be done in a couple of minutes." 30 minutes after still skating. But he pushed us, I'll tell you that, and we got the message. But so the next night we ended up playing them again. We ended up beating them, 8-1 or 11-2 or something. So, but like I said, he treated everybody the same, and he made sure everybody checked their egos at the door before we walked in. And a lot of great guys.
Hey, we're going to take a quick break from the interview and check out this highlight reel goal by Lucas Andrietta. The awesome goal, Lucas. Way to go. Don't forget to send in your highlights to Rockin' Hockey Show.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about the emotions you guys went through, and then related to like youth hockey players today. I mean, any sport, but this is a youth hockey show, so we're the adversity that kids go through, and how do they learn to overcome adversity? How do they learn success? how do they learn to trust, say, a coach? Because like you guys, and maybe you can talk about this, but you're kind of going on blind faith lots of times. Is, your parents might say one thing, your coach says another. Who do you listen to? Here you guys are, going through a training regimen that's never been done before, as far as you guys remember, going up against an opponent that is unbeatable. You got to go on blind faith, and you got to believe. I mean, there has to be a lot of support from your teammates on that one for you guys, but just so, any advice for young kids out there that are want to aspire to become college players or professional players, how do they overcome that adversity? How do they deal with defeat, success, and like I said, just kind of going on blind faith?
I think when you first start out playing, probably like when we grew up, you played because you love the game and it's fun. You like playing when you're fun. And what I've seen is being involved a little bit, looking at, for the younger kids, I think it's important, to play other sports, but more importantly, during the hockey season, go out on your own or with your buddies or just goofing off. And I think you learn a lot just by dinking around some outside rinks or having some ice time and just find out what you can do or what you can't do and improve. And enjoy what works for you before you get into the concept of the team thing and stuff. And I think, if you like it, I think you'll really get you believe in yourself more, what you can do and what you kind of can't do a little bit. But once you get in with the team environment, you have to mix in what the coach wants and stuff. And that's pretty tough. I think there's a lot of great players out there, I think. And, coaching, I don't think there's too many bad. There's, like everything else, you got some good coaches and some coaches that aren't as good as the good coaches. But that's in everything in life, not only in hockey or anything else. But I think if you like the game, and like my old coach used to tell me, so even if the guy doesn't know anything about coaching, you don't let a coach ruin your love for the game. Right. You still love the game and go out there and play. You still got to play within the structure, but when I looked at it as a player, I'd probably be playing. I thought, God, okay, I'm playing. I mean, I'll probably be playing a lot longer than a coach will be coaching because I'm still playing. He's coaching.
Right.
So, but it's tough nowadays because there's so much money, I think, that's being passed about there. And I think, the old saying, cream comes to the top no matter how you orchestrate the maze. But I think if you get a good environment and stuff as kids growing up, I think you have a good chance to go on this.
Now, switch gears a little bit. Being a former player and coach for many years, and I was very fortunate to play on many winning teams. Like Little Caesars, I talked about, we won a national championship there, and I was able to coach a couple state championship teams. I always try to tell people that aren't into sports or maybe aren't coaches about how great it is when a team comes together. And I think I speak for all hockey players in particular that, when a team comes together and you achieve success, it's just a phenomenal feeling. At what point when you guys were doing all your training did things start to roll for you guys? Or was did you see it coming, or did it not happen until you showed up in Lake Placid or after you beat or tied the Swedes? At what point in time did things start to come together, and did you realize it? And then we can also talk about after the fact when you can always look back and see all the signs and go, oh yeah, now I remember that. But when you're in the middle of it, you don't see it. These things happening, but you can feel the tide turning a little bit.
Like you said, you coached and stuff. As a player as well, nothing like chemistry. And I think each team, no matter what team, always develops its own chemistry, and it's on its own time. It's okay. We're not going to develop this in 3. But it happens by itself, but I think it's a process that you go through, like at the beginning of our team and stuff. We had guys from Boston who didn't care for the guys from Minnesota and vice versa, and that happened to do with the NCAA championship game a couple prior years. So there was a mountain to climb there. It wasn't physical fighting. It was jabbed and talking and stuff like that. But during the process, the system Herbie's put it in, and each week things have changed a little bit. And I thought we had a good team. I think right around Christmas time, I thought we had a good team. We ended up playing pre-Olympic tournament up in Lake Placid. That's when like I said, they had, I think, the Russian team, the Swedes, and the Finns. They had like B teams. They weren't the big time national teams, and you could see that things were starting to come together pretty good for us. And we had a few more games, and I thought around Christmas, halfway through the year, you could see that we were starting to come together. But once we got to the limit, you could tell you form a bond with these guys. I mean, you don't want to let the other guy down and stuff, and, you know, you do your job, and, you know, if he couldn't, like Herbie said, okay, one guy doesn't have one, okay, I'll do a little bit extra to help them out, you know, help each other out and stuff. So, yeah, it takes, the chemistry's a special thing, and that's, once it's in place, you're winning, and you're having fun up over the better. It's great.
So I walk into a pro shop, and they have the movie on. And, like, no one's even buying anything, but there's, like, 20 dads just sitting up there staring at the movie. And what I was laughing about it was that scene that you were telling us about, the skating scene. And I was telling Dave that they were told the actors, they didn't tell them that was going to happen, and they wanted to get their natural reaction. So what did your, one, how much of the filming did you get to actually go and watch? And two, what did your son say about that scene?
I think they filmed it out in Vancouver, and they ended up bringing it to some other place up in Canada, and 5 of us went, because my son who played me, and Mike Eruzione had an actor that played him, and so they had 5 of us go and help promote the movie. So we ended up going out there in Vancouver and kind of watched it a little bit, and, you know, like Kurt Russell, who played Herbie in the movie, had everything down, his mannerisms and stuff. But my son, when it came to that scene, he said, geez, maybe I don't have to skate since you didn't have to skate.
They made him skate anyway.
They had to skate anyway. I said, no, better you than me. But no, they didn't tell him. It was hard, and some of the guys they got sick. It was, they wanted their natural reaction. So they did a good job with that, I thought.
Yeah. So being part of the greatest sporting moment in the 20th century, what advice do you have to young hockey players or parents out there?
Growing up, I just loved the game. And all the kids that I played with on that team, I loved the game as well. And we just put it on, threw everything we had out on the table. And, you know, like Herbie says, you know, put everything on the table, throw the chips up, and let them land as they may, and accept how they landed. And, you know, fortunately for us, it landed well. So that's a tough thing to explain, but it's a pretty neat thing to be a part of, that's for sure.
Well, awesome. Well, listen, thank you so much for being on the show. We wish you the best of luck, and maybe we'll see you in Buffalo or Detroit when you're making your rounds.
I hope so. It'll be good to see you in person, that's for sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Havlicek taking it away for the U.S. Havlicek up ahead to Schneider. Shot goes in! On Schneider!
Oh, that was almost for home free.
That's right. You hear that? I was regrouping.
Oh,
bad turnover.
What's up, boys?
Hey, Coach. We are a team. We're not a meme. We'll put up a fight till the end of the night. We work as a unit to stay nice and tight. We shoot, we score, we do all that and more. Down the ice we fly. We won't stop till we die. We are a team.
Second goal of the night. Here it is.
It's a very quick play off the face-off, right back to Schneider, and he finds the lower corner.
This just proves that you don't even have to be on the ice to grow out your hockey hair. Check out the flow action of both players in slow motion. Anytime is a good time to go with the flow.
Do you know who holds the records for the most goals in one game? Think about it. If you said Joe Malone, you'd be correct. He holds the record with 7 goals in one game. That's nuts.
Go.
Oh, wait.
Hey, what's up, Rockers and Hockers? Thanks for joining me in my office today. Okay, so we got another puck skills drill for you here today. It's a kind of a build on of what we did with the orange pucks and the 4 pucks in a square there. All right, this is great for beginner level players as well as advanced level players. We're learning how to push and pull the puck, add depth to your stick handling, add some fakes in when you have time, being creative, supporting the puck with your body, having a good handle on your stick, and the list goes on and on. Check it out here in a Rockin' Hockey Show. Okay, as you see, I'm going to maneuver around these little cones here, and they're nice and low so I don't bump my stick over top of them. Okay, and I'm just going to push and pull the puck. I can go fast, I can go slow, but I want to make sure I have good support on it. I want to use the middle of my blade as much as I can. I want to transfer my weight, have a good, strong foundation and balance here, and I want to use my arms to reach while still having a good grip on my stick. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, if you really zoom in or slow down that video, you'll see my blade of my stick angle, so I can push it, or roll my stick over to cup the puck, so I can push and pull it, changing my angles, forward, backward, diagonal. You're also going to see me use my body to reach and fake. My legs are transferring, all right? Feet are always underneath me. Another thing to pay attention here is I'm always moving, all right? Even if I stop it just for a fraction of a second to change directions, that's going to give me an advantage when I'm handling the puck. The more you're standing still, the more the play comes at you and takes away your time and space. So if I keep moving, even if it's slow, it allows me to gain an advantage. Thing you'll notice here is I'm not over handling the puck. Okay, I'm not adding 2, 3, or 4 fakes as I go, because again, that's just going to slow me down and complicate things. 1 fake, maybe 2, keep on moving. Thanks for watching Rockin' Hockey Show. Shout out to all my friends at Penfield Hockey. This is the Rockin' Hockey Show.
Tries to center it in front. Schneider scores! Harrington to Schneider, and it's 6-2. This is incredible.
I have no idea what I'm doing or saying. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Here's the Rockin' Hockey Band unplugged with a cover song by Collective Soul.
Here we go.
Wake up to a new morning. Got my baby by my side. I won't need any warning, 'cause I got my peace of mind.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
Yeah, this is Bud Schneider from the 1980 Olympic hockey team. Thanks for joining us for the Rocking Hockey Show.
To the gold medal. Forward to the gold medal. This impossible dream comes true.